Hi and welcome back. Today I'm sharing a collage spread in this little collage journal. It's just a sketch pad I found in an action store a while ago, and I never used it for drawing, so I now use it to create collages. And I'm starting with this paper. It's a paint palette with leftover acrylic paints on it. I always use a simple paper as a palette, and then I use it for collages, and these ones are jelly prints I made with the jelly plate from newsprint paper. And here are also some thin vellum sheets that are stamped, and also some painted collage papers with acrylic paint and some splatters on them. I am flipping through my papers to see which one fits together with that collage paper I already picked out. I have a video for those collage papers on my channel, and I will link it up in the end cards. Here I also have some printed rice papers. I really love them because they are super thin, and I just look if there are any sheets that I've already cut. So I prefer using already started papers, though I don't have too many scraps left. I don't like to hoard tons of paper scraps. But in this case I need a new one, and I'm using this turquoisey one here because it's exactly the same color that is already on that paint palette sheet. If you're interested where I have that rice paper from, I found that on Amazon. What I also like for collaging is this printed book paper. I used stamps and other tools to make marks on the paper, and I really like this as a contrast to the colorful collage papers. I'm going back to the newsprint paper. I like that paper because it's also pretty thin and perfect for collaging. And I think I'm going to pick out that green paper, green turquoise, because that sap green is perfect for the palette I want to use. I'm still flipping through to see if I find another paper that I like together with the others. And here I have another stack of printed rice papers. It's one of my most favorite things, collecting collage papers for a piece. If you're interested in some jelly printing videos, I also have a bunch of them on my channel, and I will link up my whole jelly printing playlist at the end of this video. There are also videos where I'm using my jelly prints. I think I'm done now with collecting papers. I will flip through them so you can see which ones I am going to use or I plan on using. I will use a glue stick to adhere all the paper pieces to my journal page. I don't want to use a gel medium here because the paper is pretty thin, and I don't want this journal to be a very precise journal. I just want it to be a messy experimental journal where I can explore and make some really quick pages. It always takes me a while to make a decision whether I want to cut the piece smaller, if I want to tear it, if I want to adhere it in a certain place. But I thought I would leave this video in real time, so maybe if you are happy to create with me, you have the chance, because I don't make any speed up parts here, and you have time to also pick out your papers and tear them, cut them, and decide where you want to adhere them. If you're doing your own page, I would be really happy if you would share this over on Instagram. Maybe you can tag me in the photo, then I get a notification that you have tagged me and I can find it and leave a comment and share it on my stories. Sometimes when I'm not sure how I should arrange my elements, I create different options, take a photo, and then I flip through the photos and decide which layout I am liking the most. By the way, I want to mention that I have opened up a RedBubble store. If you don't know what RedBubble is, it's a print-on-demand platform with also a marketplace, and they sell really awesome products from independent artists, and I think they have over 700,000 artists selling products on their platform. And I thought I'd give it a try because I have so many paintings and artwork laying here, and I've never sold my artwork in real life, the paintings, and I thought I want to have a tote bag with one of my paintings, or I want to have a cup or a t-shirt with one of my drawings and some stickers. And so I decided to try it out, and I have already purchased some of my own designs. I have some tote bags here and some stickers, and I'm really happy with them. Today I hope I will get another order from RedBubble, and if it's the case that it will arrive today, I of course will make a video when I unpack my order and share it on Instagram. So in case you want to have a look, I of course have a link in my video description. As I said in the beginning, I'm using a glue stick to adhere my papers, and I prefer the Tombow Gluestick, but of course you can use any other glue stick you have. What I also like about RedBubble is that depending on where you are, your products get produced in this country or nearby you. So I am from Germany, and I got my tote bags from Germany. They were made in Germany and they were shipped from Germany. And that's what I really like, because when you are in the US or in Australia, then the stuff will ship from there. I think you can find a list on their website where you can see if they have a production in your country or where your stuff is coming from. Sometimes it takes me a really long time to figure out where I want to have which piece, but I don't mind that. I really enjoy this relaxing process. Here I decided that I don't want to add anything more. I'm just cutting off the overlapping papers, and then I will fill in the empty spot with some white gesso. So I always have the option to go in with other mediums. I would not use other mediums directly on that paper, especially no wet mediums, as the paper has really not a good quality. I'm using heavy gesso, so it's less wet compared to a usual gesso, and it gives me a really good coverage with just one layer. Now it's time to let this dry. I usually work in more than only one journal, and in the meantime I often grab another journal to play in. My page is dry, and I'm going to add some stamping to add more texture and interest, and I'm using some of my brand new stamps. They have been released in January, and I just do a test print to see if or how dark the ink is. I'm using StazOn Ink to stamp over acrylic paint because this dries the fastest. I think I've done a bit too much of stamping, so now I'm going to cover up some of the stamped images. I will now go in with some crayons. I'm using the Neocolor II crayons to bring in more color and more texture. This is also the fun part, I think, when you just make your marks with crayons and scribble onto your page. I always stay with my color palette, so I don't use a completely different color now. This makes sure that it stays just harmonic and cohesive. I now go in with more stamping using a ticket stamp from the Mixed Media Marks #3 stamp set, and I'm using black ink to make it stand out, and it also fits good to use black here because these ovals on the right side are also in black. I'm now going through already prepared images and see if I want to adhere them to my spread. This one is stamped on a thin piece of vellum, and I also have these flowers here which are stamped, I believe, onto a jelly print. And again, when I'm adding a focal image and I don't know which layout looks good, I take some photos and then have a look. Before I'm adhering the flowers, I'm adding some white splatters with acrylic ink. I even add more white with the brush directly on the page. I let this dry completely before I'm adhering the flowers I've picked out. The flowers are from the pencil marks number 4. Here I'm coming in with a Posca paint pen in white to add even more texture. And finally, I'm writing a title. And this is my finished page. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend. Bye!